that's 5 strokes. How many strokes spacebar? That's 6 strokes on a QWERTY keyboard. 1. See where I'm going with this? Contract, 9 strokes.
1.
Now, there are ways to keep going and writing in what we call brief forms, so that in shorthand we can keep breaking it down to go less strokes, less strokes, less strokes. So some people might write government in 2 strokes. How many do you take?
1.
Yeah, you've got it broken down in 1 brief. Government, 11 strokes on a QWERTY keyboard. Even if you do it on 2, you're winning. She does it on 1, that's a bigger win. Instrumental,
2.
you take 2 for that. Yep, 2 strokes to get instrumental. Now understand again that when I say stroke, I mean 2 finger combinations.
Right.
So it's more than 2 keys, but it's only 2 finger combinations, okay? Now you see how you get to 225 words per minute, and it's doable. So here we're gonna talk about, we're gonna get ready to write. First of all, if you're going into court for the next 6 or 7 hours, you've gotta be comfortable. You cannot write if you're uncomfortable. So the first thing you learn is you don't move, your machine does. Meaning that you move its height, you adjust where it is so that you're comfortable. So first of all, you're always sitting in a chair like this with no arms, and you want the height of the keyboard to be right here. If you took your 4 arms parallel to the floor, and then you want to make sure you're not cocking your wrists up or down, because that's going to be uncomfortable over several hours. A healthy height is right here. If you're not at healthy height, you move, you adjust these machines. So your machines have where you can adjust on the tripod, they've got knobs. And you're going to adjust so that it's at a healthy height. Then you can't sit like that, okay? I'm going to tell you how you sit. This is right here, she's got it. That machine's got to be between your legs, okay? All right, and I know sometimes we wear skirts and stuff, but you don't want to be doing this for 6 or 7 hours. That's going to hurt at the end of the day. You want to take that machine, and you don't want it to be too far away from you. If you're going like this to get to the keyboard, bring that machine in, get friendly. Okay? You can't be hunched over all day in court. That's going to be really uncomfortable. So everybody right now, get the machine to a comfortable height, adjust it, and a comfortable space, you know, between your knees. Okay? And then I want you, I know you don't know shorthand yet, doesn't matter, who cares, this is just for fun. Just start by hitting the keyboard. Get used to what it feels like to stroke that keyboard. I'm going to tell you a few things. First of all, your fingers should be slightly curved over the keyboard, okay? And what you don't want to do is be one of these people that are giving little, some people when they hit keyboards give extra movement. They start to hit and flex their fingers and hit, and you don't want to do that, okay? You just want to be coming down and up. So get comfortable feeling that, okay? No flexing your fingers, no extra push at the end of the key. And the cool thing about these machines, by the way, is that you can adjust the tension on the keyboard. So if you're the person who likes to bang on the keyboard, you might need more tension so that you can bang really hard. If you like a light touch, you can adjust the tension, ease the tension, because you just want a nice sensitive touch. So that's the thing, when you have your own machine as a court reporter, you can adjust the tension, adjust the height. No one else works on that machine but you, because court reporters do purchase and own their own equipment. So everything can be adjusted whatever you like. Okay, is everybody ready to start writing? Yay! Okay, we're gonna start writing. We're gonna start with the word SAT, which is a nice, easy, it's almost a gimme. We know how to write that in shorthand. S-A-T. First though, I want us all to find the initial S and stroke it out a couple times. You're gonna take your left pinky over the initial S and just hit that S a couple of times, just so that we're perfect. Now I want you to hit the A, which is in the bottom vowel bank, with your left thumb. And just hit that A a couple of times, perfect. Hit that A by itself a couple of times, and then you're gonna hit the T on your right with your left pinky. So your left, perfect, and then hit that T by itself a few times. Now listen, everybody listen to what I want you to do. You're gonna take that left pinky, hover over the S, don't bring it down yet. Left thumb, hover over the A, And then you're going to take that right pinky, hover over the T, and when you're ready, all three will come down together. Very careful to bring them down together, not separately. Okay? So get that S-A-T coming down all at once. Okay? Perfect.
Awesome. Good job.
Perfect. Good job. And then what you guys are already doing that I like, do it several times because that's how we drill. Kind of like, anyone here ever learn to play a piano or another instrument? They teach you a note and then they keep making you drill the same note. You got to do that with steno. So you got sat, perfect. Everyone's, you guys are awesome already. Great. How do we do pat? Find the P first if you haven't found it yet. On your left hand, you're going to take that left middle finger and hit the P. Just hit the P by itself at first. And then get your AT fingers going again. And then come down and do pat.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Nice. What's your name?
Erica.
Erica.
Yes.
And your name?
Okay.
Michelle? Nice. Okay, you guys are doing really well with this. Has anyone done this before?
No.
Starting to learn.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Really good, guys. Let's keep going. All right, we're going to do something for fun. I want you to just try to hit all the letters on the keyboard at once. Come down all at once. Bring them all down. Mash every key on that keyboard. All of it. All of it. Just all of them. And I want you to look and see what happens. I want you to notice something. No matter when you hit the S on the left or the right, or when you hit the T on the left or the right, they always show up in the same place on your screen. Do you notice that?
Yes.
They never move location. Remember when I said you'll always know what letters come first in your finger combinations because it reads left to right? Your steno notes read left to right on your screen too. They never change location. You can depend on it. It's kind of cool. And I just thought I'd point that out. Okay? So let's try a few more strokes. We know sat and pat, so we should easily do at, right? I know, Robin's looking at me because I became Dr. Seuss in the last class.
Yes, she did.
I just started rhyming for no reason. At is just the A and T, but your final T. Perfect. Now keep going. Do that. Perfect. Perfect. You want to get that at. Oh, your off is under your tool. Okay. At. Perfect. Now we did pat. I want you to do a couple pat, 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 and then morph into pet. With pet, you're going to get that right thumb over the E. So if you can do pat a couple of times, you just switch thumbs and go from the A to the E. Pat, perfect. My side of the room, Robin, is killing it. I don't know if it's left side, right side, but we are killing it, ladies. What's your name? Courtney. Nice to meet you. We are killing it over here. So we did pat, pat. All right, try this. Get an ST going by itself, which is on the left hand. It's the left pinky and left ring finger to get the ST going. And once you get the ST going, try the final P. The final P is on your right hand, would be your right middle finger over this P. Get your STs going, get your Ps going, and then I want you to try and morph into step. You're way ahead of me. You haven't done it before either? No. Wow. What's your name again? Erica? Erica, Courtney, Michelle.
Oh.
We just want one back.
How you guys doing here?
T. And the E is right here.
Very good. Okay, so we did step. Now I want you to find the TR. For those of you that are with me here, because some of you are moving really fast,
Okay, I'm getting it.
find the TR, which means on your left hand, you're going to take the left ring finger over the T and the left pointer over the R. Find your TR. You already did. You're perfect. Track. You found the TR. Yeah. But once you find it, don't lose it. Because if you take your hand away, you've lost it. Right? then you find, you know where your A is. For trap, you find your TRA. Keep that, keep it, and then you're going to get that right middle finger on your P. Oh, what you want to do is keep, oh. And slow it down.
There it
Okay,
is.
thank you.
There it is.
So you've got, you see, you're hitting another finger there. So you've got your
Yeah, you used to that.
P coming there. That means this finger is working. You want to get your TR. J. So trap, strap. I barely need to. You even went into straps. Oh! You got it, I love it, Courtney.
Good job.
All right, I'm
Yes.
hearing.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you. Question. This is a thinking question now. Why do you think the first letter on the keyboard is an S? Okay, phonetically, you're close, but what? Specifically. Highest frequency, you're close, exactly. You're thinking in the right direction. So when we have consonants together, right? S comes before a lot of other consonants, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. There's an S before T in step, an S before T and R in strap, an S before C in scare, or in this case, S before K in scare. So the S comes before a lot of other consonants. When a word is beginning, the initial sound of a word, how many times does an S come after a consonant? Initial side of the word, not final. So S really needs to be the first letter you got, because it goes before a lot of other consonants. T goes before R, like trap. C goes before R, or I should say K goes before R, like cross. See where I'm going with this? The positioning of the letters all make perfect sense, right? Okay, everybody see that? The position is by design, it's not haphazard. Even if you look at the final sounds, you've got S over towards the end of the keyboard because an S is at the end of every plural. A lot of words end with S. A lot of words end with D, like walked, talked, baked, right? A lot of words end with a Z sound or a T sound. So everything falls in a specific position on purpose. Brilliant, isn't it? And this is stenography, guys. It's not much harder than this. So let me really quickly, and Robin, I'm going to have you come up here. And we're going to also check on our students in the voice room and see how they're doing. So when you choose the steno method, you'll begin by learning what we call theory. Theory is the shorthand language. Okay? Doesn't take as long as you may think. At the end of a few months, you'll have memorized the keyboard, and by the end of 6 months, you'll probably know most of the language, unless you hear a funky word or something, right? Doesn't take that long, but to graduate, you have to build 225 words per minute on this machine. 225 words per minute. When you start off, we're maybe giving you 15, 20, 25 words per minute. How long do you think it would take a hard-working full-time student to develop, now that you've tried some steno, can you guess about how long it might take you to get up there in that speed? To what? To 225 words per minute.
Oh,
6 months, you think? 2 weeks? Okay. Okay. Now remember, I said at the end of 6 months, you'll probably be comfortable knowing the language. Knowing the language doesn't mean you're fast yet. Speed, first you acquire the skill, and then you build the speed and accuracy with practice. Anyone here ever learned to play an instrument before? Mm-hmm. You did? At the end of 6 months, you know a few songs, right? Mm-hmm. How long does it take till you've mastered it? We don't want you to know a few songs. You're going to master stenography at 225 words per minute. That's going to take years. okay? Not 2 weeks, not 6 months, okay? That's really thinking like, how long till I know the language?
Right.
And I get what you think. I get what you're thinking there. But to build the speed and the accuracy to 225 words per minute, most people are going to need to be planning for at least 3 years of full-time training, okay? What if you're a part-time student? You might need 4 years, you might need 5 years. Some need more than that. Depending, if I'm a part-time student, I work 40 plus hours a week and I've got a family at home, I need time to practice, and I may not have as many practice hours. So I'm in school as long as it takes to master the skill. I'm in school until 225 words per minute. Now we do have full-time students, not everybody is part-time, but you do have to think for those of you that are enrolling part-time, you're gonna need more time to master this skill. Robin Rieger is a full-time student in our Steno program. She's been moving at a nice, swift pace. Do you wanna add anything, just kind of talking about the experience of practicing and speed building?
It definitely, first of all, I just want to say I love court reporting. It's the best thing that I've chose. I have never ever met a court reporter who said, man, I wish I didn't do that. They're like, thank goodness I did that. So I know it takes a lot of time, but believe me, it is worth it. Not many professions you can go and say I want to be full-time or I want to make my own hours and also make the paycheck. How many times have we been sitting at a job and they're like, you want me to work how many hours and you're going to pay me how much money? Court reporting is you get out of it what you put in it. So sorry, that's my little soapbox.
Thank you.
Yeah, practice. I forget what you asked me to say.
Talk about the experience maybe of being a student in the Steno program, and it does take practice.
It's practice. I mean, if you've played an instrument, you know. Once again, it's what you put in it is what you're going to get out of it. So somebody, you know, if you're gonna, you have to dedicate time. It is discipline.
Now you guys got to try some basic strokes, and I'm going to be honest, you guys did really well. This went a lot faster than your first day in class would go, because I only had 20 minutes to show you a few strokes, okay? So for those of you who felt like you nailed it, great. For those of you that felt like you didn't nail it, you're going to get more than 20 minutes to learn like 8 or 9 new words, okay? What we do when you're in class is we'll teach you the word, and then we drill that stroke until you memorized it. A lot of you were picking it up, but if I brought you back tomorrow, it's not committed to memory, right? Not yet. You're going to have to keep drilling these strokes until it's committed to memory. That's what a Steno student does. And I want to really quickly, if I may, introduce somebody who knows what it's like to be a Steno student, if you're okay with it. We've got the, correct me if I'm wrong, current president of the GSRA, just walked in. That's the Georgia Shorthand Reporters Association. Matthew Moss, would you mind coming up and just saying something?
Sure.
So just to clue you in as to what we've been doing, this group has just taken the last 25 minutes or so and learned a few basic strokes in stenography. It might be a little daunting when you hear the kind of time and effort that needs to be put into this, but if you want to say anything about that process, I know that you're a skilled stenographer. Please feel free.
Thank you very much.
Robin
was talking about how she hasn't met a court reporter who regretted putting the time in, and I can vouch for that. I certainly, when I found out about the keyboard, I became very intrigued, and then when I got into school, I became obsessed, and it was sort of that obsession that drove me to spend lots and lots of time working on my writing, refining, learning new techniques, adapting, changing things up, and it has opened some incredible doors for me. I got to tour the House of Representatives with some of the stenographers who work up there recently, and I get to sit in on conversations that, you know, when I was waiting tables, I would have never dreamed I was going to be doing this. You know, this is really the room where it happens kind of job. It's endlessly fascinating, endlessly interesting. You know, I took an accident reconstructionist deposition recently. Do y'all know what that is? So the police officers who become basically scientists, physicists, like they sit there and they talk about all sorts of vectors and different, you know, rates of force and delta V and all kinds of strange terminology, but after a little while of doing that sort of thing, you get to really know it and understand it. So that was something I really enjoyed about finding out about this profession, is that it's sort of a ticket to be a lifelong learner. So I commend y'all for coming in and putting your hands on a machine if it's gone anything like it did for me. You know, the spark maybe has been ignited within you, and I hope it's a big roaring fire soon. So I'm Matt Moss, Steno Matt on Twitter. We've got some of our board members in the room too, and we're here for a little meeting we're going to have in another room or around these parts soon. But feel free to tweet at me, or you know, the staff here knows how to get a hold of me too if you ever want to ask questions, or if you ever hit a wall in your training or anything like that. I'm happy to talk about it. I will talk machine. Anybody who wants to talk about it, probably till they're sick of talking about it. So that's what I got.
Well, she has got to go.
Oh, I mean, I'll
Does
take.
anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
Right there. Or any observations?
Is it possible to do this part-time, or is it mostly full-time?
There were times when I went to I switched over to doing. Are you talking about the student aspect or the
Well, like,
job?
as a career, yeah.
I know people who have told their agencies, I'm only going to be able to take 3 days a week of jobs. And then I've got a family friend who helped me when I was looking at getting into this career. She just stopped to raise her children, and the machine was in the closet. She'd take it out from time to time just to keep her speed a little bit from completely going away. And then when they were old enough to go off and do their own thing, then she got it out of the closet and got her speed back up and is working again, and she's the breadwinner of that family. So it's a very flexible and versatile skill set. And you can take it all over the place, not just courtrooms, but closed captioning and all kinds of different amazing settings and things that, you know, until you have the skill or until you're looking at this path, you don't really know these little lanes exist for how you can go earn a living. But yeah, you can do part-time or completely full. We've got one of our board members who's been in a 2-week jury trial and has been completely slammed from morning to night, but that's a 2,500-page transcript. She's going to get paid for each one of those pages, so that's on top of her salary for showing up to do it. So it's a very lucrative job when you are able to raise your skills up to that level too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me something.
Mhm.
Did you know how to type regular typing on the computer before you began taking stenography?
That's how I found out about it, actually. I was at a friend's backyard barbecue, and I was bragging about how I was able to pass a job interview, like a QWERTY keyboarding skills test at they had us do something on a computer, and I had like 90% accuracy at 85 words a minute, because you know, I'm the upper edge of the millennial generation. Like I would come home from school and get on AOL and chat with my friends and stuff. So you know, I just come at kind of a naturally fast typer from that. And the guy, some guy in that room heard me saying that, and he said, "If you can type that fast, you ought to go be a court reporter. They make a lot of money." I was like, "No, they don't." And then I didn't know anything. I was completely ignorant of this field's existence. And as I kind of became intrigued at the idea of pushing multiple buttons for whole words and combinations of words, and doing other research, finding out what you can make, yeah, it can be very lucrative. And the base salaries can look odd and different simply because of that variety of the way that people use the skill. So,
Did you see that your speed was picking up? Was there a difference? I know, from what I'm saying, typing on the computer, typing on this button, not having any keys, because some keep looking at the little form here,
Yeah.
so that I can memorize where the letters are. But typing accurately on a computer and then typing on this keypad, did it slow you down?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My QWERTY skills are worse now because I have a steno brain. I think about the words in the stenography language, and so I have to be a little more careful in my typing sometimes because I get the shun sound, like coercion or reputation. The shun to me is just, you know, it's a this on the keyboard. So when I'm QWERTY typing, I have to remember, oh yeah, normal people would hit I-O-N, you know, for that. And so it's, you know, there is that, but that's a small price to pay for, you know, a flexible, lucrative, versatile career that I'll be, you know, able to use the rest of my life, sort of however I want to.
And I just have one more question.
Yeah.
To do 250 words a minute on the stenographer, but still on the machine, and then to go on the computer, is your speed on the computer still at 100 as doing researching and transcripts? Or has it slowed down? Has it sped up?
Well, because
Or
I
just stay the
can
same?
type decently because of that, it's all muscle memory. So learning the QWERTY keyboard and typing fast on it is similar to learning this keyboard and writing fast on it. You're just moving your hands and the information's passing through you in a different way. So, yeah, I mean, I can type fast still if I need to, but usually the typing I do now is simply editing and correcting my transcripts. I don't have to type a whole lot for things other than telling the lawyers how much money to send me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was
No problem.
Matthew Moss, GSRA president. So, ladies, what we're going to do is our voice writers are coming back to join you. If you guys want to take all of the paperwork that you've got on your tables and just kind of pile them up, because they may be coming and sitting next to you. And I'm going to be coming through and collecting your machines, okay, to get these out your way.
And will this be the kind of machine that we'll be getting during our class?
Yes.
Or with
Yes.
With the voice, is it going to be soothing?
Well, no, if you choose what you we'll have you.
It was good, yeah.
And feel free to grab yourself and dessert while we kind of transition out of the STEM class. And for those of you sitting in the back, come up front. There's plenty of seats up front. Sure, I'm good. Okay.
Hi, Ben.
And then land on your line.
up front. Come sit up front. Don't be all the way in the back. I get it for family and friends, but if you're here for information, you want to be up front and hear all about this. So don't be.
I know every the people I spoke to don't get up front. It's got to be on and popping up in here. Where they at? I see future court reporters, honey. Where y'all at? Where the future court reporters? We need you up front and interested. I was basically sitting in a front row when I was interested. I was sitting with my feet crossed, legs crossed, crisscross applesauce, honey. Yeah, I can do it. You are interested. It's really young. This could be a life-changing day for you all. Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know it's almost been 10 years for you. I came to my first open house. It will be 10 years, November 2008. Like, that's what caught my attention. Like, it was the speaker.
Yeah,
It
this
was
is
the
like
stenographer from Brian Nichols' case. What's her name?
yeah,
Cheryl was on there. It was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to be that. I want to sit up front and be seen and take down testimony and go crazy and go crazy. And that's why
So is there a way
I'm so happy because it's so stable. And I keep telling them, I read an article 10 years ago saying that the job is going to be a very high demand and shortage. It said court reporting. And it was like, really? Just see if it is.
Right.
And it's now 10 years later, and it's true.
They say the growth rate is really slow, but that's because there's not new positions being created. They're replacing. But so it's kind of a misrepresentation because they say slow growth rate. People are like, oh, maybe it's not good. It's like, no, it's like people are retiring. Nobody's replacing.
A lot of the young, still I consider young court reporters in their 50s, they've been doing this for 30 years. So I'm like, if they've been doing it for 30 years, they're going to need to be
They're ready
going
to
out
transition.
somewhere.
Tell them to check with me because I need a teacher or two here and there. Always, yeah. Proud of you. It's always fun to come here. It's always good to talk about you.
Thank you
Your
so much.
accomplishments.
Everyone always says to me, I saw you in a commercial. I'm like, I never see that in a commercial. I guess I am.
Usually during the day.
If people are at home. Yeah. Right. Are you here for support, sir?
But yeah,
Okay.
no, well, nice
I was about to say.
Thank you for coming today.
It's not a male-dominated field, but it used to be a male-dominated field. In the 40s and 50s, y'all used to always male court reporting.
Anyone else in need?
A lot of people don't know that.
Anyone else in need of a packet?
Oh, sorry, darling, you're good.
Anyone else in need of a packet?
Oh, okay. Got it. Anyone else?
Something to write with.
Renee?
Here she was. I trained her at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then she went up and got mama ready for nurse. And I did. And I still was at 4. Excuse me?
That's my theory.
I know how to talk, baby.
Okay. Everybody's got their lunch. We're settled in. Okay, everyone. We're all settled in. Excellent. Okay, great. So you guys got a taste of steno machine and voice writing. Hopefully it helped you kind of get a feel for which method might be best for you. And that's what this is really to choose. So ultimately this is your choice. You have to go with the method that makes the most sense for you. Okay, it's not one blanket answer for everybody. So one of the questions that I want you to be actively asking yourself as you're here today is court reporting right for me? Okay? I want you to be thinking about your career goals. Think about your personal goals. And I want you to decide whether or not court reporting is going to get you to where you want to be career-wise, because we're a school that specializes in the training of court reporters. So if you're not really focused on or don't have the true desire to be a court reporter, what I'm saying is that maybe moving forward with enrollment is something that you might want to consider. You may want to consider whether or not court reporting is right for you before you move forward. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? So to help with that, first of all, you already met a couple of court reporters today, which is really cool. Thank you, Miss Danica Clay, class of 2011, correct? And she's an official reporter for DeKalb State Court. You met Matthew Moss. He's the president of GSRA, and he is a freelance court reporter. And then we have another guest speaker today, and I'm so proud to see every face because I knew Danica when she came to an open house like you did years ago.
It was in November of 2008, so it's almost been 10 years.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe. I gotta stop telling people I'm 26 because they're on to me. They are on to me. And I met this other young lady years ago as well, and it's really pleased me to see how well they've all done professionally and personally. The next guest speaker I'm going to introduce graduated from Brown in 2010. She, along with Danica, they're both certified verbatim reporters with the merit certification, which is a higher level of certification. She is currently an official reporter in Cobb County State Court to Judge Toby Rogers. And she's a new mom. Again, this is number 2. Please welcome Ms. LaToy Connor.
Madam LaToy Connor. Madam Court Reporter LaToy Connor. Come on down, girl.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's good to see you all. Such a beautiful, wonderful crowd. Happy to have you all today. I typically do not do prepared speeches. Anytime that I've come in to speak to people that are looking at this profession, I really come in and just freestyle it and just tell you a little bit about myself, tell you a little bit about my experience here at Brown, what I do, kind of give you an idea of what the official position is like versus the freelance, because I've done a little bit of both. A lot of official and a little bit of freelance. That's how I started out and how most people do start out. And maybe give you a little bit of an idea of how much money you can make on the low end versus the high, because I know when people are interested in this profession, that's one of the main things they want to know is how much money can I make. Am I right? Yeah. Everybody wants to know that. So I will cover a little bit of all of that and try not to take up too much of your time this morning, and then give you an opportunity to ask me any questions if you have any at the end. So, as Carlette was saying, I graduated from Brown in 2010. I initially started out as a steno student. That was my plan. A few things changed along the way with me starting school, stopping school, starting school, stopping school. life happens, different things happen, and timing caused me to need to make a decision based on how quickly can I get done so that I can get into the workforce. Based on where I was in my speed with Steno, where I was with my financial aid and how much I had left to get done, I decided I wanted to make a pitch and see if I could just switch the voice, because I think it may be easier for me to get through. Reason being is I had a lot of academics already behind me that you'll end up taking. Your legal terminology, your medical terminology, English for court reporters. It's not regular English like what we took in high school or in college. It's a little bit different, okay? Latin, things that you have to learn, because legal words, a lot of them have a lot of Latin in them, right? So because of that, it put me in a unique situation where academically, I was way ahead of the game, and I'm thinking, you know what? Everybody already knows how to talk. So I think I can teach myself how to repeat a lot quicker and get through than I can finish my muscle memory with Steno, okay? I was correct. So I finished that voice program pretty quickly. I want to say I started in my speed courses, not the theory, because you'll have to go through your theory and you can't speed that up. It is what it is. You're gonna have to take however many semesters it is, and then you go into your speed courses. So my speed, I want to say I started around October, and by the 2nd or 3rd week of January, I was already at 225. Now, just because we know how to speak does not mean that everyone will do that. So I don't want to misguide you. I had a lot of incentive. And I was here early, and I was here late. So I might have been one of the first ones here and the last ones to leave. So it was intense, but I had a goal and I wanted to get done, and I did. Now, I finished so quickly with my speeds, I ended up with a little bit of a hiatus. It's like, okay, I'm done with most of my classes. I'm going out and doing my externship, and I'm shadowing these other court reporters that are officials to kind of get some on-the-job experience. And the test is not here yet. Like, when am I going to take the test? So I took the test in July of 2010. And there are 4 segments that you end up taking. One is a written knowledge test. I don't know what the requirement is right now, so I'm not even going to go into it for what the score has to be. But say there's 100 questions, you may have to do an 80, say for example. The written test is challenging. You're going to need to know your things. You're going to need to study the things that they're telling you in school so that you're ready for it. Otherwise, you will look at the screen and be like, why am I here? So it's not a game. It's very serious. The skills portion of the test is 5 minutes long for each section. They're going to do jury charge. They're going to do question and answer, 2 voices, which is typically what you're going to hear between the attorneys. And what's my third one, Carlette?
Q&A.
Literary. Literary, I'm forgetting. And the speeds right now are 180 words per minute for the literary material, which could just be anything that's being read to you. 200 words per minute for the jury charge, which is literally what it is. A jury charge is the instructions that the judge reads to the jury, which you're going to get a lot if you ever work in court. But it's very repetitive, and it's pretty much the same language over and over again. So you'll do that at 200 words per minute. And then the Q&A for 2 voices at 225 words per minute. Now, when I tested, not so long ago, but long enough, the speeds were 200, 225, 250. So it was difficult. The 250 was challenging for 2 voices at that time. They've retired that test, which is why when Carlette mentions that Danica and I both have the master certification, it's actually master. They retired that test, I want to say in 2012. So anyone who tested and passed at the 250 words per minute, they were given an additional certificate showing that you were a CVR, Certified Verbatim Reporter - Master, because of that high speed. And now they've lowered it, retired that test, so anyone who takes the test beyond that date will never be able to get the certification that we have at that point. There's still other certifications you can get above what we have, but it won't be that one, okay? And that one would be the merit. And I think the speed for the merit is at 300 at the top. So anyway, I passed that test. I began freelancing. Now, people always ask, well, how fast can I get a job once I get done with this? So I can only speak on my experience. I got a job the same day I got my test scores. The same day. Coincidence or not, but Brown was holding some sort of an event. And because I wasn't on campus as much anymore, I hadn't even heard about it. Because again, I was done with classes. I was freelancing with other reporters, following them around and learning things, you know, get the on-the-job experience. And I called because I had gotten an email saying congratulations, and I knew what that meant. I opened it up, it was like, congratulations, you have passed, blah, 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 you are now ASAP. I was like, thank you, God. Okay, so got that out of the way, and the first thing I did was call the school. And I'm like, guess what, I passed my test. And they're like, are you coming to the event today? And I'm like, what event? Like, we still got tickets, just come on. So I came here, and they had a panel that had court reporting firm owners on the panel. And officials and different board members, you know, for the different organizations, court reporters, and they're up there, and the event is like it's well going on at this point. The room's crowded, and I walk in and I'm standing at the back and I listen to the rest of the presentation, and then after everybody is just talking and chit-chatting afterwards, I see my voice teacher speaking to this gentleman, and they're just talking, but then they make eye contact with me. And I'm like, but talking about me, and they tell me to come on over. Well, I come over, and he switched voice as well. And she introduces him and I. And out of all the students that were in the room that day, and it was plenty of us there, I was the only one licensed. Literally. Because I was the only one, matter of fact, took my own home for 2 seconds. I was the very first Brown College graduate to pass the National Verbatim Reporters Association exam. Ever. Ever. Yes. And it was very challenging because of that 250. People were passing the 200 literary, and they were passing the 225 jury charge, but that 250 Q&A was something else, because it's 5 minutes worth of testimony, start to finish, and then when you stop, they tell you to go ahead and start transcribing, and they give you so many minutes to transcribe it, and then you have to pass it at 95%? 97.5. It was high. Now, I want to say it was 97.5 or 95 at a minimum. It's been 10 years, no, 8 years since that happened, so my memory gets a little off. I got mommy brain too, so y'all give me a pass. But yeah, so because other people had taken it ahead of us, they had passed certain legs of it, and you get credit for that. So you don't pass all 4 portions, it's okay. You pass 2, they save those 2. And then you have years to go ahead and get it back, which you don't want to take that for. You want to go ahead and get it done if you can. So I passed all of my 4 parts the first time I took it, and again, that just made me the first one. So again, all of my other classmates that were there may have been 1 leg short, 2 legs short, and I was the only one licensed. So guess what that got me? An employment opportunity, just like that. And I started talking with him. He showed me how he liked things done, how he wanted his invoices done, because, which leads me into another point. Freelancing, you can work for firms that will take care of all the billing for you, take care of mailing out your transcripts, and then you can work for firms that require you to do the billing yourself. They'll tell you how they want it done, but you build the job, they collect, they pay you. You mail your own transcripts, you bind them, you package them, you mail them yourselves. If you work for a firm that's like that, you keep more of your money, okay? Now, this particular firm owner was the highest I have ever heard of. His split was 80-20. You're usually gonna do more of a 60-40, you know? But again, with the 60-40s, you're not buying your own transcript covers, you're not paying for your own shipping, you're not doing all of that. You're not buying your own paper and you're not doing all that. They're covering all the overhead. Either way, with both scenarios, they're going to handle finding your work for you. That's the benefit of being not on your own, per se, to work under a firm. Think of it like a temp agency in a way. They have all these clients, they have all these needs, and then they just reach out to you and say, hey, are you available to take this, this, or that? And then you yes or no, and they send you out, you get paid. You're not finding work, not scrapping for it, you know? Okay, versus officialship, a little bit different. You know where you're going every day, it's the same place every day. It's the same people every day. Now the work changes for what's coming into the courthouse, of course, but there's not the, I'm gonna be in Alpharetta this day. I'm gonna be in DeKalb on this day. I'm gonna be in Henry County on that day. There's not the unknown, or I'm on my way to the job and they go, oh, they canceled that deposition. So while you may have variety and flexibility and decide whether you want to take it or not, because you don't have to work 5 days a week, if that's what you want to do, freelance is for you. You love to be somewhere different every day. You love all the excitement. I'm going to be in this big, skyscraper downtown tomorrow. Hey, have at it. That's great. I did it. It was fine. Once I tried court, I realized that I liked it, which was completely the opposite of what I thought when I was in school. When I was in school, I said, I'm never going in the courtroom. Never. I want depositions. I want a small table with just 3 or 4 people, and that's it. And I cross my arms, that's it. I'm not going to no courtroom that's too many people. How am I going to know who's talking? I'm like, there's too many people. I don't want to deal with it. It felt overwhelming. And when I started working for that court reporter, I told him that. And he said, okay. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. He called me one day. He said, I need you to go to DeKalb County Superior for a calendar call. Now, I wasn't quite familiar with what a calendar call was, but it sounded like they're just going to call this calendar. Call your name, you say present, that's it. And I didn't think much more about what else was going to come into it. He said, you'll be done probably by lunch. It's not going to be that big of a deal. You're going to make $200 just for showing up. It's no big deal. You'll be done by lunch. I'm like, all right, Ray. I don't really like court. He's like, oh, come on, it's quick. I said, okay. I was there till about 7:20, 30. Yeah. So much for lunch. I ended up with, 50 pleas. All of them had to be typed. I don't remember this many years out how much I made that day. I made over $1,000 that day. I liked court. After that, I like court a lot. Got any more court rate? Because you're gonna make, I don't know what the rate is right now, it's somewhere in the low $200 range for a normal 8-hour day. That's an appearance fee. That means when I walk in the door, not as an official now, but as a freelance person that's just filling in court, you walk in the door, good morning, cha-ching, that's $200 in your pocket, just like that. If they say, you know what, court got canceled, we don't even need you anymore, that's good morning, $200 in your pocket, just like that. Just because you showed up, appearance fee. If you're taking down criminal matters, you don't make extra money unless they need a transcript written. So you're going to take it down, and if they don't need a transcript, you take your $200 and you walk away. If they do need a transcript, then you bill them $6 a page right now in Georgia. They have increased the rate. $6 a page. I average about 45 pages an hour. Do the math. So if you want to talk for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, please do. Carry on. I love when we talk all day long at $6 a page and no transcript. Okay? Civil, which is different. That's Jim suing Susie. Slip and falls, car accidents. Those rates are $3.78 per page for the original. And then the other side that orders a copy is another $1.51 per page. So it still averages out close to that $6 if a copy is ordered, okay? Now, in addition to that, for civil, you make an hourly rate for taking it down. So as long as you are stroking or talking, you are making an additional $43.31 an hour on top of the $200 that you got for saying good morning. Good morning. That usually sounds good to me. So on an average, you might make in a full trial day running from 9 to 12 and say lunches from 1:30 to 5, you're back on the record, 1:30 to 5, you're gonna make close to $300 a day for a takedown, plus your $200 for walking in and saying good morning. And that's not even including the transcript.
So that's every day you show up for court?
When you are not an official and you're coming in to work in the courthouse, you're automatically going to make the $200 a day, automatically. And if it's civil, cases and they need you to take down motions or trials or whatever, then it's $43 an hour, $43.31. And if they need a transcript, which a lot of times they do in civil, then it's on top of that another $3.78 a page. And if the other attorneys want, you know, plaintiff's attorney wants it, that's $3.78. Defense attorney wants it, that's another $1.51 per page. Okay? So, I'm an official. I have a base salary that could go anywhere from upper 30s, lower 40s to probably mid 50s, 60s, depending on what court, what your experience is. That's a large range. Insurance, benefits, typically with most of those types of jobs because they're with the counties and most of the time, not all of the time. Some of the counties do treat them as contractors and pay them the $200 per day and they buy their own benefits, but Cobb County does not. Cobb County gives us benefits straight off the first day. Everything, life, health, short-term, long-term disability, vacation, the whole nine. So everybody's family situation is different. If you are married and your husband or wife has insurance already and you don't need all that and you want to just run around different beautiful skyscrapers all the time, it's totally up to you. Freelance may be the thing, but officials, if you like to go to the same place every day, you like the stability, you like the benefits, you may make less money because you're taking a lower salary and you're sitting tight, but I can tell you this, 100% of everything that comes into my courtroom that's going to be transcripts and $43 an hour, 100% of it all belongs to LaToya Common. Because that's my courtroom. So unless I'm off, that's mine. And I'm never off when money's coming in the door. I don't take vacation during trial week, I promise you. It works good for me. I started out as a single mother. Now I'm not a single mother. I've got a 17-year-old son and a 6.5-month-old daughter. And court reporting has been very good to me and very good to my family. Very, very, very good. It's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made and definitely the best professional decision that I've ever made. It comes with respect. It comes with dignity. You know, people respect you for your integrity, for the quality of your work and what you do.
And what you learn and know.
Yes. Yeah. What you learn, what you know. I love what I do. I love who I work for. There's never been a day that I'm on my way to work and I'm like, I got to go. No. I love it. I work for the best judge, I think, in Georgia. Period, hands down. He's amazing. You can enjoy your maternity leave benefits if you need them. I mean, I love having my benefits. I'm loving it. You know, it's giving me a special gift that allows me to be able to be the mom that I need to be for those that have children, if it matters to you. I love what it does for me as a family. Because, say again, when my son had a football game last night and I needed to leave early, I was out early. When I had doctor's appointments for my baby on the way, I was out. And there were no issues, and there were no questions, and no hassles. And there was no decrease in my income.
And we didn't even have court yesterday. My judge was on a trip somewhere. So I wasn't home chilling yesterday. So if it was Friday, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and every court is different. But I'm in DeKalb. I think that I work for the best state court judge. But man, everything she's saying is just dead on. Dead on. Just man.
It's no regrets for me. You have your hard work. You're gonna earn it if you get the certification. It's not free. It's going to cost you something. You just have to decide if you want it bad enough. That's just it. Because life is going to happen. You're either going to allow life to stop you from becoming a court reporter, or you're going to say, I want to be one, and you're going to just doggone do what you got to do to be one. And I got to the point where I said, listen, I'm not running out of money before I become a court reporter. I'm not running out of financial aid. I'm not running out of anything. I have put myself out here. I have put myself in debt. I have done this, and I'm going to have a way to pay it back. Period. I'm walking away with something. Give me my papers. You know, and I haven't regretted it. This year has probably been the most profitable year that I have made, that I've had since I've been doing it. It's a beautiful thing. I'm almost worried about my taxes. So think about it. I'm available for questions afterwards. I don't want to hold them up because I know there's some things that they're going to have to go over with you. So I'm going to try to hang around for a few minutes before I have to get my 17-year-old. But if you have any questions you want to ask me, it's fine. They know how to contact me. You can reach me by email, Facebook, whichever. It's easy to find me. LaToya Connor, L-E-T-O-I. And I think my name is on the program. And it was great meeting you all. Good luck to you in your decisions. Think about it, ask lots of questions, do your research, and make an informed decision and be ready to change your life and get into a really good profession. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you both. Thank you both for being here. Okay, so just a quick time check. Out of respect, I know we said we would wrap up at 1 o'clock, and everything went a little bit longer. However, what we still want to do is talk to you guys, because it's career and then it's school. We want to talk to you guys about paying for college, and then we want to talk about the admissions process. And then what we might do is wrap it up after that for everyone who needs to go. And those who would like to stay, those who are seriously considering enrollment, can stay afterwards, okay? But I want to make sure we cover a few really important things for everybody while they're still here. So thank you for not having to run just yet. So to discuss financial aid, we have they think they have the best judges. I think we have the best financial aid coordinator in the state. Put that on record.
Right.
Thank you. Felicia Chesglor. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone.
So, I am Felicia Chesglor. I'm a financial aid advisor here at Brown College. So, if you guys do decide to enroll and you want to take financial aid, I would be the person that would assist you in applying for whichever particular type of financial aid you're looking for. It's a few different things. So just to give you a quick overview, to start with, what is financial aid? It's a few different things. Grants is money. It can be financial aid. It's money that you don't have to repay. It's referred to as gift aid often. Scholarships don't necessarily come from the Department of Education. People will use scholarships to help to cover their tuition expenses, but generally they come from corporations. So they're a little bit different, but we do accept them. Work study is a form of financial aid in which the student is paid, is more like a part-time job. So a student would just receive a check every week or every other week at our location and use it the way that they need to. And federal student loans are types of aid that people will still take out if they are not covered in other ways. Some students also make cash payments. Okay, so the difference between loans versus grants, which we touched on really quickly, but the main thing is that loans you repay, grants you don't. When you take loans from the Department of Education, you don't need to pay on them while you're in school. You can if you want to. Generally though, they go into repayment about 6 months after you graduate from school or you stop attending at least half time. Grants never go into repayment because it's gift aid. How do you apply for financial aid? How many people have ever used financial aid before? Most people? Okay. So how many people have heard of the FAFSA? Okay, everybody. Okay, so the FAFSA is an acronym. It stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and it's a federal form. So any school that you're going to go to that accepts financial aid, you start with that. It doesn't obligate you, but what it does do is allow us to give you a pretty accurate estimate of what you can expect to receive as far as grants, loans, anything from the Department of Education, and then we work with you one-on-one to determine what you personally want to use. So all students use different things. But you always want to start with that. For students that are going to use student loans, they also have to complete what's called a master promissory note, or an MPN, which is just a promise to repay any student loans. And then all schools have specific school requirements, and we do as well, like entrance counseling, which just gives you a lot of information. So that's something that we would help you with on an individual basis. Dependent versus independent students. Do we have anyone under the age of 24? Okay, so me too. So
emotionally.
I can be there. So with the Department of Ed, they have the highest age of dependency out of any other government agency. Usually it's 18 or it's 21. With the Department of Education, it's 24. So if you're under the age of 24, technically you're dependent by age, but they do have a list of questions that are on the FAFSA. You could be independent a different way. So like if you're under the age of 24 but you're married or you're a veteran or you have dependents, children or otherwise that receive at least 50% of their financial support from you, then you're considered to be an independent student. If you answer no to all of those questions, basically what you have to do is have a parent or legal guardian, and they have to complete the FAFSA for you, and they also have to sign it. So it's still a pretty easy process. Veterans benefits. We accept veterans benefits. So if you yourself are a veteran, or if you have a family member or spouse, they should always check to see if they may have education benefits. A lot of times these types of benefits go unused because maybe people didn't know or they didn't use them. And if you have a veteran in your family that has benefits that they didn't use, they could actually transfer them to you. So if you have that situation, let us know. We can tell you how to get that process started. And that is pretty much it, except I like to leave you guys with a few websites that are very helpful when you are wanting to start the financial aid process. The first one, of course, is the FAFSA. For those of you who have not completed the FAFSA before, even if you're not certain of where you want to go to school yet, you should always complete a FAFSA every year, because we can pull that, review it, and we can tell you what you can expect. Because the FAFSA, your eligibility changes a little bit depending on which school you're going to, what type of school, you know, whether it's private or public. Sometimes in what you're going to go to school for, like if you're going to be a teacher, there are different grants available for that. So you want to complete the FAFSA, and then we can pull it and run through it for you. FSA ID, the second website. If you've not completed a FAFSA before, if it's been a really long time, the FSA ID, it stands for Federal Student Aid, and basically what you do is you apply for a user ID and a signature. This is how you sign documents with the Department of Ed. So your FAFSA, anything that you complete with the Department of Education is online, so you have to sign it all electronically. Now, if you are going to do a FAFSA at our school code, this is how we can actually see your FAFSA. So our federal school code is 013624. So if you complete one, or if you've already got one and you go on and update us, we'll actually get a copy of it in 2 business days. Below that is the site that's called NSLDS, where it says to check your student loan limits. A lot of students don't know about that website. NSLDS stands for the National Student Loan Data System. So, with the Department of Education, there are limits to how much you can use in every aid program. Some of it depends on education credentials you already have, like if you have a bachelor's degree. Some of it depends on if you're trying to get an undergraduate, if you're trying to get a graduate degree, it changes for each level of education. But they actually keep track of everything that you use. So financial aid advisors always check this just so that we can let you know up front how much you have left. And you'll know how much, you know, how long it's going to last you before you start the program. But students actually have access to it as well. And then under that, the master promissory note, you don't necessarily have to worry about it too much. This is something that I give students on an individual basis, depending on if they're going to use student loans or not.
On the NSLDS website address, is that an underscore between the last strings?
Yeah, you got good vision. That's the underscore, yes.
Thank you.
Any questions for financial aid? I do want to let you know that all of your packets has a tuition sheet in it, the packets that you're going home with. So you can look through that when you get home. And also, your catalog has not only tuition rates, that little handbook, but it's got our refund policy, our, you know, all of the policies and procedures that go along with that. So take that home and review that.
How many quarters are per year?
There are 4 quarters in a year. There's also a calendar year packet. Thank you. There are 4 quarters in an academic year. We actually go 12 months throughout the year with school here, so we don't have a huge summer break. We go winter, spring, summer, and fall with small vacations between each quarter. Each quarter is a 12-week period, and there are 4 of those quarters in a year.
Let me tell you, this is a very important part right here, because it was at this moment, almost 10 years ago, November 2008, where I was sitting where you were sitting, but it was after they started speaking about financial aid. They had the speaker, they had done the demonstrations, and right here, right now, was where I was like, oh my gosh, my mind was literally like this. Oh my gosh, do I want to do this or not? Like, oh my gosh, my mother, I'm like, what you doing now? Oh my gosh, what you decide to do now? Make a decision. What you want to do with your life? Okay, I need to live. I need to survive. I want to be a wife. What am I going to do? I need benefits. Oh my gosh, I can't continue to do marketing for like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this financial aid shit again. Oh my gosh, I just did 4-year degree at Morgan State. I got to do, but wait a minute, no, seriously, they really talking about they just happy going to work. I'm trying to be this happy going to work. What you talking about, girl? Like literally, my mind was everywhere, and I was like, don't live your life on woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like leave here and know for sure. Either you leave in here going to be a court reporting student in January 2009, or you're not. And literally, I was like, I gotta be ahead of the curve. They're saying in 10 years there's going to be a court reporter shortage, and it is at that 10th year mark. Where I'm like, whoever put that in the news writing and all of that, whoever predicted it, it is coming to pass. I'm serious, y'all. Like, I needed to take off on August 22nd coming up. I was scared, like literally, oh my gosh, please let somebody be available so I can take off August 22nd and go to this family reunion. And it is hard, meaning there are no court reporters. And I'm like, I'm praying that somebody here will listen to me or LaToya and be like, you know what, they seem very passionate about this, and don't worry about the financial aid. It will take care of itself. It will take care of itself. I had a great support system at the time. My family helped me, and they helped me with rent money. I know everybody cannot be under that situation. I was able to apply for unemployment because I ended up being a full-time student. I just know that one person out there may be having an inner conflict of if you want to do this or not. Don't think about if you're too old or anything. I'm telling you, the older court reporters who were my classmates, they are working. They're getting that check, period. They are in their 60s. Don't let age or I'm too old or I got too many kids or this, that, and the third. My husband gonna be like, what you do? No, do it. So 2 years from now, you can start getting that job right after you do networking with somebody. Yes.
For the admissions director, do you need, as far as transcripts, high school and college, or just
Sure, let's go over that, and then again, I want to be respectful of everybody's time, so I'll go over, I also want to introduce our admissions representative. Come on down, Renee, because some of you will be working with her, and many of you will be working with Felicia. So for those of you who have not met her in person, you may have heard her lovely voice over the phone. This is Renee Whiteley. Hi. And I'm actually going to let Renee go over the application process with you. And then after that, we'll close. I will say this. For those of you, and there are going to be some people in this room, it is natural, for whom they have heard all the facts and they see what this is and they go, this is probably not for me. And with that, we appreciate your being here. And I want to ask you, because there is a court reporter shortage, because nobody seems to know about this career. The only legal career people can think of is attorney or paralegal. If it's not for you, take the information you've gathered. Don't give it back to us. Give it to somebody else. You know some career-minded, sharp individual who wants something like this. Okay, so if it's not for you, thank you for being here and spending your Saturday with us. If you are seriously considering this, then I want you to listen up to what Renee Whiteley is going to say about the admissions process. And if you have deeper questions, because there's a lot we still have to go over that we didn't even get to cover today. Renee and Felicia and I will take care of you individually if you decide that you're serious about moving forward. And with that, here's Renee Whiteley, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Carlette. All right, and of course our lovely financial aid, Miss Felicia Chesclor. So again, I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your Saturday morning to be here. And you know, you just being here shows a lot about the fact that this is something that you truly are definitely interested in, right? You know, Saturday I'm not working, I'm out of bed early, right? So this has to be something that you know, have some sort of interest in, some sort of passion about. So if this, after you've gone through the voice class, you spent some time with Ms. Tanika, you heard what LaToya had to say in the training that she received, you heard about how passionate these ladies are about their field and their career, and what it has done for them, and how the process, the learning process, and how Brown has treated them, you know, how it has showed you, how, you know, based on their personal experience, how it showed how we treat our students and what we do for our students. If that sounds like something that appeals to you and you feel like this one of these programs would work for you, the admissions process is in your packets. So let's just go over that here fairly quickly. Everyone should have one if you have a packet, and it's going to be the admissions checklist. Before an offer of admission can be extended to you, you do have to complete the admissions process. Now, this process is pretty straightforward. It includes, you know, completing the enrollment and application. Now, completing that application also comes with a $50 application fee. Now, the application fee is non-refundable, but we will hold your application fee for 3 following quarters if you wanted to push out your start date at any point, okay? Moving on, there is a signed enrollment agreement. This enrollment agreement just it goes over our tuition rates in detail. And then after you pay your application fee, the next step, of course, is to pass your entrance exams, okay? Entrance exams, don't get nervous. It's just a little test, it's all right, you can pass it. First one that, you know, is pretty straightforward, typing. 25 words a minute, no, you know, with errors. We take your net typing score. So we're not too concerned about, you know, how many errors you have. 25 words a minute, easy, done and done. You can text, you can type, you got it, okay? So English test. The English test, it's really just testing your vocabulary, right, everyone? Learning, making sure that you have the vocabulary foundation that's going to be needed for you to be successful in this program. We truly only need you to make a 75 or higher, okay? So here's an example question. So we're going to say, I'm going to give you the word catastrophe. That's the word, catastrophe, all right? Let it marinate. Catastrophe, okay? So what form of the word catastrophe would make this sentence correct? The boy was in a blank accident. Somebody, just yell it out at me. Okay, there you go. All right, see, that's it.
What is it? Because some people didn't hear it.
Oh, the word was catastrophe. What version of the word catastrophe, what form of the word catastrophe would you use to make the sentence correct? Catastrophic, easy stuff.
Some people don't know that. That's why I started with this. I knew this was for you. I knew this was for me because if you like words, spelling, grammar, English, punctuation, that's why I said that. So if you like the difference, if you know the difference between catastrophe and catastrophic, you're on to something. If you're having some difficulty, you might want to put your church finger off the wall. Because it's going to be a struggle, and you don't want it to be a struggle because school shit is already, you know, stressful enough. But if you got to get these, you know, differences and know the difference, you got to know the difference between 2, 2, and 2, and you got to know the difference between there, and there. And if you say, oh, it doesn't matter, yes, it does matter. Why do you think I'm over here looking in dictionaries while y'all up there conversing? Because conversate is not a word. It's converse. We were conversing. That's what you learn in court reporting school, specifically Brown College Court Reporting, because their English program is so legit and so welcomed in my life, and I'm just confident that I can speak like this, and I can tear apart your paper and your commas in the wrong spot, because my foundation has been, there are a lot of people that have dropped out and tried to continue to be court reporters. That's fine, they did, but I can tell the difference between Brown College Court Reporting graduates and those that tried to do training on their own or get it from somewhere else.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you, Danica. I appreciate that. So, of course, as Ms. Danica said, so one more question I'm going to throw at y'all, test question. So which one of these words would make this sentence correct? The girl was so gullible or indolent that she fell for all of my jokes. There you go. I don't even know what indolent means right now. So that's okay. You know, a part of it is text-taking skills and being able to be confident in what you do know. You know what I mean? Because I know what gullible means. I'm okay with that. So, you know, that's the English test, a couple examples for you just to make you comfortable, make sure that you're aware of what it is that you're going to have to do and pass. Anything after that, we got you. It's our job to train you to be, you know, Miss Danica or Miss Latoy. You know, it's our job to get you up to that point. We don't expect you to come in here knowing everything or, you know, already, you know. That's why you come to court reporting school, okay? So moving right along. $50 application fee, right? Keep it on for 3 quarters because timing. It's all about timing. I know Carlette may have gone over, you know, our 3 scheduling options on campus during the day, full-time, part-time, or in the evening online as well. So if the timing isn't right, then maybe you may need to put it off, but that's why we hold on to it for you. But timing, timing, timing. Next, proof of education. We only need one of these, either your official transcript, high school diploma, or GED, okay? Next, a copy of your driver's license, proof of identification. We need to know that you are who you say you are, okay? Copy of your social security card, birth certificate, or valid passport. Now, a passport would suffice for both of these. This is just to prove that your eligibility to work and that you can receive aid, okay? And last but not least, our signed right to know form. And of course, you have to have your financial aid, everything straightened out with Ms. Felicia. But trust me, she's got you, okay? So that's pretty much the entire process. What I will say is that if you're unsure, you know, if you're not really sure, I would talk with Ms. Felicia, get some estimates, see what this would look like for you financially, especially if you've already completed the FAFSA and sent it over to us. You know, it's one thing to speculate, the other part is to know. You know, having those facts in your hand will really give you an idea of, is this feasible for me? So, with that being said, everyone, any questions about the admissions process? Oh, don't all raise your hands at once.
Who's the first day of class?
First
I
day?
feel late.
Oh, you're fine. Absolutely. So we're currently recruiting for our October start class. Classes start October 1st. The deadline is August 31st, but we'd like to start by the 31st so that we can make sure we have all the paperwork in hand by that time. But, you know, we can make it work. If August 31st doesn't work for you, we can make it work if you still want to start in the fall, okay? So our fall start date is October 1st, all right? So with that being said, I do just want to thank everyone for their time today. And if you think that it's the right time, you feel like, you know, you have, you know, what it takes to be an effective court reporter, and if you feel like Brown is the place for you, it's not for everyone, it's a rigorous program, you want to be a hardworking professional, then please, you know, feel free to meet with me or Carlette, and we'll go over the admissions process. We can get you started today. Feel free to put in that application. But other than that, I just want to thank everyone for their time today and for coming out to Brown. All right.
Thank you.
All right. I think you guys like it so much here that no one wants to go. You guys are starting today.
I did want to ask something. What, because one of the classes I didn't get a chance to do this with, but if you were in one of the classes, we talked about all right. Who was in that class? We talked about the word all right. So how do we spell all right? Space, R-I-J-C. For those that were not in, because I always like, I say you should at least learn something from me talking to you, and if you're going to learn something, it's going to be how to write all right. For those that weren't in there, I understand. Oh, yeah.
You know another big one? A lot.
A lot.
Spell a lot.
Yes,
Yes,
two words.
that's a big one.
Lot. It's not put together. But for those that weren't in that class where we got on that, all right is spelled all, A-L-L with a space, R-I-G-H-T. If it's not spelled like all right, then it's all wrong. Because you don't see all wrong spelled A-L-W-R-O-N-G. I know you see it spelled A-L-R-I-G-H-T all the time, but it is not how you, that is not, and that's what one of the things that you will learn in court reporting school, how to write all right. And now you know how to write it. Don't continue writing it with one because everyone else is doing it. Everyone else doesn't know.
They're going to think you're wrong.
Right. They're going to think you're so wrong. They're going to think you're all wrong. Okay? All wrong. But you're so all right. You are just complete. And then you'll learn, okay, is not written out capital O and capital K. That's the punctuate. That's how you write the, that's the city for abbreviation for Oklahoma. Okay is spelled O-K-A-Y. That's how you spell out okay. And a lot of people come in here already with a chip on their shoulder because they are in school again. However, they get even more chip when they think they know English and grammar, and then they get here and get corrected, and they then they start thinking like, damn, I've been doing this for 15 years like this, like 20 years like this. That's what you'll learn. You will be, I apologize, get offended if you want, but your children's teachers don't know how to write. They think that they are writing and they don't know how to punctuate a thing. Your own children's teachers wouldn't know where the comma goes. They would ask them what an independent clause is, a dependent clause is, a coordinated conjunction, what's a fanboy. They would not be able to tell you. And I'm just being honest. That is the, I feel like this is a hidden jewel. This place right here on Spring Street is like a hidden treasure to teach all of the ways to write. And that's what we do as court reporters. And we do it like it's slow at first because you're still unsure, you're a little bit uncertain. But when you start reading things and learning, because you see me up here as I was literally going through the dictionary looking for certain things that have been on my mind, like, let me research this and that. But on my way to bed, sometimes I'm reading how certain sentences are written. I'll read certain credible, like, Sports Illustrated, they have some great writers. They know what they're doing. But a lot of times you see writing, you'll see all right, and you'll see it on the news, and you'll just, it's so annoying. I'm like, oh man, they didn't do it. Man, that's not how you write all right. But I can't change everybody, but it does start here. But like I was telling some of you, when I'm in court and we have defendants literally there, we're there to, I do misdemeanors. Misdemeanors are little small things. I don't want to say small things, but compared to the court, they're DUIs. You'll learn the difference. A DUI is a misdemeanor, and cruelty to animals is a misdemeanor. The burglaries, the murders, the assaults, those are the more higher things, superior court. But you will know, like today, you'll learn this. It is not a crime to drive after you've been drinking. You can still have a drink and get on the road. It is when your breath is, the blood alcohol concentration is 0.08 grams or more. If you blow, that's basically a glass of wine. So you can have a sip and get on the road, but if you are above 0.08 grams or more, that is considered driving above the legal limit. That stuff you will learn in court as a court reporter. I'm well versed. You will become well versed in so many different subjects. It's just an exciting situation. And I guess I'm so passionate because when I was driving here, I was like, man, I have an ability to change somebody's life, somebody's career. Not just yours, but a daughter you may have, the son you may have, because I know there's a lot of females here. This used to be a male-dominated profession. If you go back and you Google court reporters in the 1940s and the 50s, all you saw were Caucasian males sitting there with their suits on, like there with the steno machine. I don't hardly see any voice writers back in the day, but that's what this profession used to be. And now there's a lot more females in the court, in this profession. And as far as what the race is concerned, it just varies. It depends on what part of the nation you're in. So I just want to let you know, don't let the male, if you see more males in the males, if you see a lot of females, it is not, oh my gosh, maybe they're gay. No, they're not gay. These are straight men that want to make great money, and they know, they've heard, and they've taken it, embraced it, and said, it's like when a male goes into nursing. Everybody thinks a nurse should be a female, and that's not the case, okay? So I wanted you all to know that this is a great profession to be in, and I'm so thankful I went to Brown because I'm definitely good in English and writing. If you can see, that's like my passion. So it has to become a passion. But again, I would not get in anything dealing with math because that's what I'm horrible in, unless I'm getting that check from that attorney. So thank you for being here and listening. And she's been here when I was a steno student and then went to voice when I got severe carpal tunnel and had to switch to voice. And she knew that I would make a great court reporter. I was loud and everything and boisterous, but I knew I wanted to become a loud, boisterous court reporter and passionate and colorful. So yeah, I'm with a real diverse team at DeKalb State Court. So yeah, I do. This is one of the things that turned me off. That I was like, oh gosh, if I got to wear pantyhose every day, I don't think that's a job for me. But we don't have to wear pantyhose, and it actually depends on the county you're in. Some judges, I don't know, it just depends. I think more in the more rural areas, they're a little bit more tight about it. But other than that, I go in there with my earring in my nose. Sometimes I go in with a head wrap on my hair. Sometimes I'll go like this, and my judge says, oh, your hair is different today, you know. But you'll work for a great, diverse group. Like my judge, she's Jewish. I get Rosh Hashanah off and Yom Kippur, honey, and I am not Jewish, but that is one of the perks that I get with one of my jobs. I'm off on Yom Kippur. Oh, you Jewish? No, but my judge is, you know. But I just bring a little humor to let you know we are all human. Court reporting can still be fun. When I saw the old school court reporters, they were dressed in all black and gray. But let me tell you something. I had one trial. It was a 3-week medical malpractice trial, and the little girl was born 5 months gestational. So she was only 5 months in her tummy, and she was born. So she was basically translucent. something about her eyes, retinopathy of prematurity. So I can talk to you about an eye and a premature baby, retinopathy of prematurity. But after the end of the trial, she said, out of everything in this 3-week trial, I was happy to see you. And I said, oh, okay, I'm so happy. She said, you just came in with full of color, while everyone else had on gray suits and blue suits.